Be honest with yourself. How many times have you watched someone attract money like it's nothing? New clients, random opportunities, deposits that seem to appear overnight, and you whisper, "They're just lucky." I used to believe that too, until I found out luck had nothing to do with it. What looks like luck is law, and once you understand that law, money doesn't take months. It can move in a day, sometimes in as little as 24 hours. That might sound impossible, but so is Wi-Fi until you connect to it. The signal was always there, you just weren't tuned in. And here's the real problem. Every hour you stay tuned to lack, your subconscious keeps stamping that frequency into your future. You're not just delaying abundance, you're teaching your energy to wait. That's why people can affirm for years and see nothing, because their inner command still says, later. But in this video, we're not saying later, we're saying now. By the time you finish watching, you'll know exactly how to make money respond to you, without tricks, without luck, and without waiting on perfect timing. I'm not here to gatekeep. I'm here to hand you what most people never reveal. The 3 frequencies that replace luck forever. The frequency of command, the frequency of creation, and the frequency of receiving. Once you understand them, you won't hope for large sums anymore. You'll expect them. Because when your inner world moves first, the outer one rearranges fast, sometimes in hours. So take a deep breath, because what you're about to hear isn't motivation. It's a manual for speed. So right now, just breathe. Let the noise settle. Because what I'm about to share isn't theory, it's transmission. The first frequency is what I call command. But before you can command, you have to feel what authority actually feels like. It isn't loud. It isn't desperate. It's the stillness that knows it's obeyed. Imagine standing in front of the ocean and realizing the tide already listens to you. That's the vibration of command. When Jesus said, "Peace, be still," he wasn't negotiating with a storm. He was reminding it who was speaking. Neville called it living from the end. Dr. Joe calls it coherence. Different names for the same current of certainty. Now, listen closely, because this is where most people break the law without realizing it. They speak affirmations from need, not knowing that need and authority can't occupy the same space. They ask for what they don't yet feel worthy of, and life mirrors that uncertainty back. But when your emotion and your identity merge, when you know you are the one who commands, something inside you clicks. That click is the field aligning. It's the moment money stops being a wish and starts being a response. So here's what I want you to do. Don't repeat anything yet. Just remember a moment in your life when you decided something and the world rearranged to match it. A time you said, "This ends now," or "This happens today." And it did. Feel that certainty in your chest. That quiet finality. That's the same energy that moves money. Stay in that feeling while I give you the phrase that activates it. Ready? Here it is. Money moves for me now. Say it softly, not as a wish, but as fact. Again. Money moves for me now. That sentence is more than words. It's a decree. Type it in the comments so it leaves your head and enters form. The instant you do, you'll feel it. Like the air thickens, like the current turns. That's not imagination. That's alignment catching speed. Some of you will see proof within hours. A message, a payment, an unexpected idea. Don't chase it. Just notice. Because the moment you issued that command, the field began to respond. Hold that feeling for the next 24 hours. Walk through your day like someone whose instruction is already being followed. You'll see how quickly the outer world bends to match the inner tone, because money isn't waiting on time, it's waiting on permission. And now that you've given it, the next step is learning how to build what you just declared, how to give shape, color, and emotion to the command so the universe knows exactly what to deliver. That's the second frequency. It's called creation. And when you feel it the right way, the gap between asking and receiving disappears. So stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you're going to learn how to feel wealth so vividly that reality has no choice but to print it. You just said it. Money moves for me now. But what happens next decides everything. Most people give the command and then start watching the clock. They ask, "Is it working?" And the moment they ask, they undo it, because checking for proof is still disbelief in disguise. Creation begins the moment you stop checking. It starts the instant you feel what the finished scene feels like, before it's visible. Think about electricity. You flip a switch and trust the light will turn on. You don't stare at the bulb, begging it to glow. You act like someone who knows the system works. That's the same posture you need here. Calm inevitability. Creation is not chasing the signal, it's living as if you're already connected. Close your eyes for a second. Forget numbers. Forget bills. Imagine a single feeling instead, the quiet relief that everything is handled. That breath you take when money isn't a question anymore. Feel that after feeling now, ahead of schedule. That's the secret. You feel after before it happens. When Dr. Joe Dispenza maps the brain of someone in that state, their body chemistry mirrors the future they're imagining. The subconscious can't tell the difference. It believes the event already occurred, and reality begins catching up to the new chemical truth. Neville said the same thing a lifetime earlier. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and persist in that assumption. He didn't say pretend, he said assume. Assume means wear it. Put the emotion on like clothing until it fits. So let's do that. Picture yourself walking through a familiar place, maybe your kitchen, maybe your favorite cafe. Now imagine you've just checked your account and seen a number so high your stomach flips. Not fantasy, detail. See the digits. Hear the tiny exhale that leaves your throat. Notice the change in posture, how you automatically stand taller, how your shoulders drop, because the weight you've been carrying quietly dissolves. Stay there. Let your nervous system memorize that posture. That posture is wealth, not the number, the relaxation. Every time you hold that relaxation, you're instructing the field to match it. Money isn't chasing you. It's tracing that feeling back to its source. You. The trick is to make it normal. You can't keep your manifestation in a glass case labeled special occasion. You have to treat abundance like oxygen. Always here, always enough. So instead of meditating to get money, live today as the person who already has it. When you pay for coffee, do it as someone circulating wealth, not losing it. When you check your phone, expect good news, not hope for it. Tiny choices tell the universe which movie to keep playing. This is how creation works. The feeling teaches the subconscious. The subconscious teaches reality. And it happens faster than you think. Sometimes in hours, because emotion travels quicker than logic. Let me give you an image. A woman wrote to me after trying this for the first time. She didn't visualize stacks of cash. She pictured the sound of her washing machine running, a sound she associated with security, because when she was broke, it had been silent for months. That night she fell asleep, listening to that imagined hum. The next morning she woke up to a message. A freelance payment, delayed for weeks, had just cleared. The amount, exactly what she needed for rent. That's not coincidence, that's coherence. She gave the universe a clear emotional address and it delivered the matching package. So tonight, instead of repeating words, give life a scene. Pick one small detail that represents financial freedom to you. A smell, a sound, a texture. Replay it until it feels boringly familiar. When it becomes normal, it becomes near. Because the universe doesn't give you what excites you. It gives you what feels like home. You'll know you've reached the creation frequency when thinking about money no longer spikes emotion. It settles it. You feel finished, and finished energy is irresistible. Here's a test. Say this quietly. I already have more money than I can spend. If it feels fake, don't push harder. Soften. Let your body show you the gap. Then breathe into that gap until it closes. Soon the words will start to sound obvious. That's when the bridge of events begins. Within 24 hours, you might notice something tiny. A refund, a new offer, someone repaying a debt you forgot. Don't dismiss it as small. Every coincidence is the universe checking your address. When you acknowledge it, you say, "Yes, this is the place." And more comes. Creation is cumulative. Every time you practice the feeling, you strengthen the magnetic field around you. You're literally broadcasting the blueprint of your new life. It's how faith becomes frequency. Now remember the command you gave earlier. Money moves for me now. Creation is how you feed that command energy. Without feeling, it's just a sentence. With feeling, it's a signal the universe can't ignore. You know that moment after something amazing happens. Maybe a random payment lands, or someone finally says yes to you. And for a few hours, you feel unstoppable? Then, almost without noticing, your mind starts whispering, "Don't get too excited. It might not last." That whisper is how most people lose their manifestation, not because the universe changed its mind, but because they changed their state. I used to do this all the time. Years ago, I manifested my first big payment. It showed up within a single night after I decided to stop worrying. I remember staring at the notification on my phone, feeling electric. For a moment, I knew it worked. But 2 days later, I caught myself thinking, what if that was just luck? That one thought was enough to stop the flow. Here's what I learned. The universe doesn't respond to what you get. It responds to what you sustain. Holding the frequency isn't about constant high vibes. It's about emotional steadiness. Imagine you're holding a radio signal. If you keep twisting the dial every few minutes, the song cuts in and out. But if you stay tuned, the station gets clearer. So, how do you hold the frequency of abundance? First, stop analyzing how long it's taking. Every time you measure, you restart the stopwatch. Money moves fastest when you forget time exists. Second, act like a friend, not a fan of abundance. Fans scream and then leave when the show ends. Friends show up quietly, consistently, knowing they belong. I used to practice this by doing something small every day that felt like wealth. I'd buy a single coffee with the calmness of a millionaire, not the rush of someone spending their last €5. That calmness trained my nervous system to treat abundance as normal. Third, catch the old story mid-sentence. Whenever you hear that inner voice say, "What if it doesn't work this time?" reply, "It's already working." Not to convince yourself, but to remind your body that you've moved timelines. You see, feeling rich before you are isn't pretending. It's pre-living. It's borrowing tomorrow's certainty and spending it today. When you hold that frequency for long enough, coincidences start stacking. You'll walk through your day and notice patterns, the same number repeating, people mentioning money out of nowhere, tiny reminders that you're in sync. Those aren't random, they're receipts, proof that the invisible is becoming visible. And if you ever doubt it, talk to yourself like a friend would. Say, "Hey, look how far you've come. Remember when you used to panic about bills? Now you're commanding money with calm." That kind of self-talk keeps the frequency alive. Because the truth is, you don't need to fight for abundance. You just need to keep the channel open long enough for it to arrive. So tonight, instead of worrying whether the command worked, tell yourself this: money already left the source. It's on the way. My only job is to stay available. That's how you hold the frequency. And once you can hold it, once peace feels more natural than panic, you unlock the final step. It's where the universe starts doing the heavy lifting. That step is receiving. Not forcing, not chasing, just allowing the delivery you've already ordered. You know, people think receiving means sitting on the couch waiting for miracles. But that's not how it works. It's quieter, yes, but not lazy. It's the art of moving through your day like someone who already has what they asked for. A few months ago, I met a woman named Sophia. She told me she'd been trying to manifest money for almost a year. She'd written affirmations, repeated mantras, watched every video she could find. But her words were heavy. They carried the energy of someone still waiting to be chosen. One evening, she decided to do something different. She took a walk by the river, left her phone at home, and whispered to the night, I'm done trying to make it happen. If money's energy, then let it find me in peace. That's it. No candle, no script. Just surrender. The next morning she checked her email. A client she hadn't heard from in 6 months sent payment for a project she'd written off completely. Later that week, 2 more opportunities appeared, both effortless, both unexpected. She told me, it was like the universe was waiting for me to finally stop chasing. That's when it clicked for me. You don't receive when you get louder. You receive when you get clear. Because here's the truth no one wants to hear. The universe can't deliver to a moving target. When you keep changing your frequency, hope, doubt, you're like someone texting a driver new directions every minute. The car can't arrive. So if you really want to see results in hours, not weeks, stop interrupting the delivery. Stop checking your phone every 10 minutes for proof. Proof is the slowest part of the process. Feeling is the speed. Here's what receiving actually looks like. You wake up and breathe like you're already supported. You walk slower, talk slower, smile more easily. You notice small signs, the right song at the right time, a message that feels perfectly aimed at you. Each one is a wink from reality saying, yes, I heard you. You respond with gratitude, not shock, because when you act surprised, you tell the universe you didn't expect it. When you say, of course it came, you tell it to keep coming. Receiving is rhythm. It's that calm confidence of a friend who knows their order's already placed. They don't stand at the counter shouting the same request. They wait, they chat, they laugh, they enjoy the smell of what's cooking. And that's what I want you to do now. Live your day like money's already on the way. Because it is. It left the source the moment you believed. All it's waiting for is your stillness to land. Let me tell you what happened to me once. There was a time I couldn't sleep. I was anxious about a payment that hadn't arrived. I kept checking my email until 3 a.m. Finally, I gave up. I whispered, "Fine, I trust you," and fell asleep. When I woke up, the payment had arrived, processed at 3:04 a.m. It wasn't luck. It was release. The moment I let go, the path cleared. So tonight, I want you to try this. Before bed, put your hand on your heart and say, I release the how. I rest in the now. Then picture light flowing from your chest out into the world, carrying your command with it. That's all. No force. Just permission. Because the field doesn't speak English. It speaks emotion. And when your emotion says, it's already done, everything scrambles to make it true. You might wake up tomorrow to an idea that changes everything. Or a message that solves what you thought was impossible. Or something tiny, but perfectly timed, that proves the energy is moving. That's how it starts. A whisper before the roar. And when it happens, I want you to smile like you knew it would, because you did. You've been guiding this moment from the inside all along. Remember, manifestation isn't about luck. It's about synchronization. Heart, mind, and action beating in the same rhythm. And once you learn that rhythm, you never unlearn it. Money becomes responsive. Opportunities start showing up before you even ask. Life begins to echo your calm. That's the real power of receiving. It teaches you never had to force. You only had to allow. So, take one last breath with me. Inhale the idea that everything you desire is already on its way. Exhale every reason it can't. Say quietly, I am open, I am ready, I am receiving. That's it. That's the frequency. Stay there. Watch what happens in the next 24 hours. And when it does, when that text, deposit, or moment of ease shows up, come back here and write it below so others can see proof in real time. Write, I am wealth in motion to seal it. If this reached you at the right moment, it wasn't by accident. Subscribe if you haven't already. Not for me, but for the version of you that finally stopped chasing and started commanding. Because from this day on, you're not waiting for luck. You are the law that luck obeys. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.